Good evening. Welcome to your channel, Fable Wonderland. I'm Dr. Boisi. And today I'm gonna read you the fable titled The Moral of the Fable. A fable was being read by a human, and when he had finished reading it, the fable called upon its friend, the moral, so that it could also be read. When the human read the moral, he began to deliberate, seeking to understand the meaning of its lesson. After reflecting on this matter, he understood something and fell deeply asleep on his desk. Then, in the middle of the night, the moral, that is, the moral of the fable, appeared before the sleeping human and woke him up. After doing so, and while the human was still drowsy, the moral of the fable introduced him to its own moral, that is, the moral of the moral, which, beyond its moral teaching, offered an additional lesson. This lesson was, in fact, inherent to all the morals of all the fables in the world. The value of being able to reflect for oneself of any matter, regardless of where one agrees or not. Moral. Morals not only teach us moral lessons, but they also encourage us to reflect for ourselves. Let's go to check the four theoretical elements that are important in this fable. First of all, I would like to talk about the metacognitive reflection on the fable. In this fable presents itself as a metacognitive reflection on the process of teaching and learning throughout morals. Here, the moral of the fable comes to life and reach a deeper level, awakening the reader not only in the literal sense, but also in the intellectual sense. The human reads a fable and its moral. This is the typical learning process, where the reader tries to grasp the moral lesson presented by a story. Point number two, the awakening of the reader. The awakening of the reader, as you can see in the fable, after the reflection, the human falls into a sleep, but it is in this drowsy state that the moral awakens him to teach him something deeper. This suggests that simple reading and reflecting is not enough. There is something more that the moral wants to convey. And this element is the moral of the moral. The fable not only has its explicit teaching, but there is also a moral of the moral. This means a deeper level that transcends the specific moral lesson of the fable in question. This higher lesson reveals that the most valuable thing of all is the capacity for personal reflection. Let's talk about the point number 4. Think for oneself. The moral of the moral teach that the true value of Fable and their moral lessons lies in encouraging individuals to think for themselves. It is not simple about accepting a teaching as valid, but using it as a starting point for independent thought. Reflecting for oneself is more important than the lesson itself, as it leads to genuine and personal understanding. This fable plays with the idea of the metamoral, suggesting that it is not only about receiving the lesson, but also about questioning, delving deeper, and finding personal meaning in everything learned. This fable is inspired by the Maieutics, a teaching method developed by Socrates, which consists of helping individuals discover the truth or knowledge through questions and answers. The term comes from the Greek word maiotike, which means midwifery. Socrates used it as a metaphor, comparing his method to the work of a midwife who helps women give birth. In this case, he was not providing answers, but helping to bring to light the ideas and knowledge that were already within individuals. I hope you really enjoy this fable. I hope you subscribe to the channel and like the video. I encourage you to share this video with someone who might be potentially interested in reading it. Here's a small bibliography for you. I'll see you next week with another interesting and amazing fable on your channel, Fable Wonderland. See you soon.